This is just Kimberly. Here, we honor the pivots of life as moments of learning and transformation. I'm Kimberly, and together we'll explore the practice of cultivating clarity, resilience, and grace with every step forward. This is your invitation to slow down, listen in, and find meaning in the unexpected. Welcome to the Just Kimberly Show. Today, we're here with my dear friend, Bob. Bob, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Beautiful studio. Looking forward to this.
Yes, excited to have a conversation today.
It's been a long time.
Yes, we've gone back to childhood, so we have so many chapters of life together, and yes. I think we've both learned to pivot with grace so many times.
Many times.
So today we'll take it a little bit personal, a little professional, to whatever level you'd like, okay. And we'll jump right in.
Okay.
All right. So what first drew you into education, and what has kept you grounded in this work all these years?
I think what started is my experience in high school. I loved every aspect of high school, the friendships, the social aspect, the athletics aspect, meeting teachers and meeting new friends from different areas that you didn't grow up with. And so I felt like I built a big group of people, and I just really loved that environment. So I wanted to get back into it, and then that's why I chose my career.
Yeah, such a wonderful career, amazing. So looking back to our time building a program together back in large district here in the Northwest suburbs.
Yes.
What stands out most about that season of our life together, would you say?
That was probably my second year, I believe, in my second year of teaching, and it's just the excitement of giving the opportunity to build something new, something that was needed, and being able to work with you, a childhood friend, a friend in high school, and that was exciting. And I think the comfort of it was working with you, knowing that you had a good grasp of being at that school already, and just knowing that I was in good hands and working with you.
Yeah, and I think we had a really great mentor. She saw something special in us individually, but brought us together. And I remember that that conversation very intimately when she approached us at a local establishment and just said, I have a vision for the two of you, and this is what I'd like you to do for the district and specifically for the school. And building a self-contained program with you back in the day, when that was an earlier concept, will always be ingrained as such a special memory. And I think the student clients that we had at that time, they still are near and dear to our heart. Sure. I think we were young growing up with them.
Right, yes.
Learning so many things. And at that point in time, we had our first student client, I think for both of us, that was a young adult student client with autism or a level of... And we were learning day to day how to communicate, how to work well, how to structure curriculum, and just like a meaningful day. That was a pretty powerful experiment.
Yeah, I think it was
experience.
I think it was just exciting because we were so young. I mean, then we could pour everything that we had, emotionally and physically and everything into that program.
Yeah, and the school environment was so welcoming, which I think we had that experience in high school together, but we weren't so sure across town what that would look like.
Right.
And going across town and knowing that was so deeply embraced, that was an amazing experience in itself. So here on Just Kimberly, we talk a lot about pivoting and pivoting with grace. So let's talk about a couple different pivots in our own journeys and how those have intersected through life. As a parent of a daughter with special needs, what have been some of the biggest pivot points you would say for your family?
I just think a pivot point was just our first child was born with Down syndrome. And that was... you as a parent, you fear being a parent. How are you going to be a parent? What is parenting? How can you do it? Are you going to be able to do it? And I just being thrown into that situation was even added to more of my stress. And some of the biggest challenge was pivoting with my career, that everybody thought I had it figured out. Okay, Bob and Giselle had a child with Down syndrome. Oh, Bob's in special ed. He knows how to take care of it. He's going to be a champion at that. No.
There's no guidebook in that.
That wasn't taught in my master's class, how to be a parent of a child with a disability, how to work and teach. Yes, I learned that. So I did feel a little more comfortable, a little more confident, but it was hard for me to experience the emotional level because it was so that I knew how to handle kids with Down syndrome and disabilities, but how do you do as a parent when it's one of your own? So that was a very big challenge.
Absolutely. Thinking back to that time, what do you find were probably the best resources or support?
I think my background in special education, but just the support of my friends in education. And I think, with my parents, I have a very strong relationship with my parents, and a strong value of my marriage. A strong marriage was a big part of it, that we could, attack this head on and deal with it. But just overall being in a school system, the school I was at, very, very friendly, very, very loving, very accepting. So that helped a lot too.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. Where have you found grace in the unexpected? I love that question.
I would have to say, new things, like new values of just, it opened up another chapter of my life of what is important, really. And that's what what is the new important in my life? You know?
It kind of redefines things.
It really does. What is new? What's the next step?
I agree. How would you say, how has it been being both an educator and a parent shaped your view of special education programs and services? Because you grew up through schooling and then a passion that we both went into special education and wanted to champion new things, and we would take on any challenge, and we almost found joy in the most challenging cases and or student clients. But then, life pivots and changes, as you had shared. So how do you see that? How has your view maybe shaped it differently? Because then going through and sitting at the IEP tables and going through programming.
Well, what I liked was developing the relationship with the parents at an IEP, personally, before, my daughter was born. Having that relationship, because it is a team aspect. If someone comes in very angry, it's not going to work. And it's just, you have to be a team, and I think that's what makes it special, the team aspect. And that was my goal going to my IPs. It was weird being the parent.
Yeah, on the other side of the table.
When you're signing the papers, it's weird signing on that line.
Sure.
But knowing that it was very easy for us to take it to the level of, I want to be that parent that they want to see when I come in the IEP, not fear having that meeting with Bob. Oh no, we have Bob coming in.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like, oh my God, we're here, we're doing great things with the team. And I think that's what's so important is, feeling comfortable with the people you're working with.
Yeah, I would say that you are definitely a relationship builder. I mean, all the time, from when we were kids through anything, you're just very relational in that way. So let's talk a little bit about then some lessons in leadership, family, community, all of that blends together. As a coach and a mentor, what lessons about resilience do you carry into the way you lead others? And you've coached girls, boys, all different types of sorts.
I think it's always changing. Coaching is always changing. You have to adapt with people. If you are stuck in your one way, it's not going to work. It's just like with coaching, every athlete has their own individual way to get through. Some can handle a harder way of yelling, getting in their face, where others need that pat on the back, like you're doing a great job. So I think leadership is just reading the room and reading who you're working with and how to get things done. You all want the same goal, but sometimes you got to go different ways about it.
Yeah, 100%. I have this really fun memory that I remember for the local school district, but the high school in particular that we were both at, when you took badminton, girls badminton on. And then you went down and badminton state and just so you also are able to anticipate needs, see needs, and then propose solutions. And so you did that in the classroom when we were in the classroom together. I've observed it with you coaching. You have done it with different friendships that I've watched, through. Right. So I would say that that's a superpower of you to anticipate these and do that. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's very neat. So you and your beautiful wife, Giselle, you both serve in education and still serve in education while raising your beautiful brood of children, the Hanson family.
Yes.
What have you learned about balancing family with professional callings? Because it's a big household.
Right. I think with education, though, it's structured. We knew we had to be at work at this time. We were home at this time, and coaching went from here. It was a 7-day-a-week thing, And I think structure helps a lot, and it is a tough balance between with a family, and it's balance, and it's understanding that sometimes there's going to be a give and a take. Sometimes we're going to have to take from my professional performance and put it more into family performance, and other times when everything's going great with the family, then it's back to professionally, and you do the best you can there. So it's all a balance.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the challenge of life is to find balance more often than not. So that can be kind of wild sometimes. What do you wish schools and communities better understood about supporting families like yours?
I think going back to the team approach, that we all want what's best for the child. And sometimes as a parent, what you think is best is not, and you have to let the professionals take over and sometimes give away some of your power or your thought process of what is best. And I think just the overall team, it is a team asset, from the counselors to the psychologists to the teachers to the teaching assistants. I mean, it is one big team.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. What values guide you most when you're facing those tough decisions, would you say?
I think of just overall family, like what's best. Sometimes when what's best for my family is not best for me. Like going to therapies, like I had to step back from coaching for a couple of years, which was hard because I do love coaching, but my family and my wife needed me more, because she is a full-time teacher also.
Sure.
So it was sometimes unfair that I was putting in all the hours over there when she was holding down the fort, does he want to say, when I was gone all the time. So just a good understanding of that.
Tell me about your daughter now in the sense that you're pivoting to adulthood with her. So there are all the things to navigate, such as public systems. What is it like when the bus stops coming? How do you create adult programming for her at each phase, and as she continues to grow and develop? What is that process like for you as a family right now?
I mean, the biggest thing I could say, it's the fear of the unknown. We don't know, we've known through her being at Palatine High School, which I think is one of the best programs, special education programs in the state, and
Absolutely.
I put it in the nation of how caring the people are over there.
Yeah.
So the fear of the unknown, like what happens when Sierra leaves. And we've been visiting programs, and it's a whole new chapter, and it's just, we don't know how she's going to do. We don't know how, to be honest with you, how we're going to get her to these programs. She's nonverbal pretty much, so it's like, do we trust someone taking her in a car with a rideshare service?
Right.
I mean, it's the fear of the unknown for her. I mean, we know she's excited and always very willing to take the next steps, very very outgoing. But it's just, for us as parents, it's like my other children go into college, that's a fear. How are they going to do?
Right.
Are they going to be social? Are they going to make it their grades?
Right.
Are they going to get along? Are they going to get in a sorority? Are they going to do all that? This is more life skills. Like, what is the next chapter for her?
Yeah.
And we're a major part. When your other kids, they're old enough to make their own decisions. They got to live with their decisions.
Yeah, they have enough agency.
We're still the major decision makers for Sierra. So that's a lot of pressure and stress. Like, are we picking the right program for her?
What are some of the look-fors that you have as you're considering programs out there?
I would say her happiness. I mean,
Okay.
we could see through the work programs that she's been through, like some of the jobs she's excited to go to, some of the other jobs she hasn't been, and just for over her well-being, because she is a happy child, and we're trying to keep it that way.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So as we move into some closing reflections, what chapter of your life feels most alive to you right now? Which bucket feels most alive to you right now?
If I have to personally just speak of the excitement for my other children, because they're getting their own avenue, that they're not having to feel in the back of their mind they have to take care of Sierra.
Oh, yeah.
That they're completely on their own. They're both in college. They're doing great. And it's just the excitement for what's happening to them next. And I always wanted to make their own way. I mean, they've always been great with their sister, and it's funny to have their older sister that they're taking care of, but them not having that responsibility. And we always wanted to be that family that wasn't known, oh, they have a child with Down syndrome.
Sure, absolutely.
We didn't want that aspect. We are who we are, and everybody knows that, and everyone's treated equally, and everyone's expected to do the same thing and toe the same line.
Yeah, pick up, show up.
Yeah,
show up, pick up.
But it has been nice. That is a new excitement. I think the excitement is with our other children right now of what they're experiencing. Everything's new to them, and they're making their own path. So we're really excited about that.
That's so special.
Yes.
That's so special. What has been a pivot point where you had to choose a new direction and choose it with grace? And it could be anywhere, personally or professionally. I ask this of my guests.
It's a great question. I think one of the biggest pivot points was my identity as a teacher and a coach. And as a football coach that I coached for so many years, the pivot point was like trying to find my identity not being a coach. I wasn't walking through the halls with all the guys saying, hey, coach, because I had to pivot and I had to make the choice for my family, my taking some of the strain of raising a child with a disability off of my wife, going to the therapies, going to that. So instead of going to practice, we were driving, Sierra to therapies and other things, and not trying to take away from my other kids to let them have a normal childhood, that it wasn't all surrounded around Sierra, to let them know that they were as important.
You're an amazing dad, amazing partner, amazing friend. So as we close, what encouragement would you offer other parents and educators? So I think both, about leading with heart and perseverance, because it's so important, both of those.
I would think as a parent, follow your instincts. If something feels right, then go for it. If you're a little weary on things, maybe it might not be what's best for your child. If you're thinking that they're not making a connection, let's just use speech therapist. They're not making a connection there, and you feel that there's not a connection there, then don't worry about hurting feelings. Move on to somebody new. And I think we've experienced that, and just have an open mind. And I've had a friend that had a son with a disability. He's like, we're struggling. And I said, what are you struggling with? He's like, we want this, we want that. And I said, the biggest thing about having a kid with a disability is normal goals don't exist anymore. Normal milestones don't exist anymore. If your child says hello to a stranger, that might be the greatest thing that happens to you for a month. Like, it's the small goals that add up. Like, and if you compare your goals like to your other children, it's not going to work. It's all new goals that you have to make. And I think that when teachers have to make goals, make small ones and build on those. And those are more fulfilling. Hitting the smaller goals are more fulfilling than hitting one large goal. Like, my child with a disability is going to go to a 4-year college. So maybe make it small. They're going to have a great high school experience, and then we're going to see what happens next.
Yeah, that's so neat. That's so special. Well, anything we haven't covered that you want to make sure that we do? Because this brings us to the end of the road, and this has been really, really fun to have you on today. Catch up. Yeah.
I mean, it's an outlook in life. You have to, it could beat you down. I mean, the fear of the unknown, is Sierra ever gonna move out of the house? We don't know.
Yeah.
So just take things day by day and enjoy what you have, and enjoy your surroundings of what you have and the people that are helping you, and make sure you acknowledge the people that have helped you along with the journey, because it does take a lot of people to make a successful journey.
Definitely. Being present and now.
Yes.
Words by Bob Hanson. Thank you for being with me today.
Oh, no problem. It was great seeing you.
It was so
Very
great.
proud of everything that you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that's a wrap. We'll see you next time on Just Kimberly.